Welcome, Spicy Lady. The body knows what the mind tries to ignore. For SpicyLady-Sigma, that simple truth shapes the way they move through the world. They don't always have to overanalyze a situation to know it's not right for them. Their intuition speaks in silence, through sudden discomfort, a strange shift in the air, or a random urge to leave without any logical explanation. They may not always understand the feeling at first, but their soul recognizes misaligned spaces long before their logic catches up. SpicyLady-Sigma are naturally self-aware and deeply sensitive to energetic vibes. They pick up on every subtle detail others completely overlook. They feel the hidden tension behind a fake smile, the quiet competition disguised as a friendly compliment, and the heavy emotional weight lingering in a room that appears cheerful on the surface. These women are not quick to judge, but they are incredibly quick to sense inauthenticity. When a space starts draining their peace, they never wait for full-blown chaos to confirm it. They quietly withdraw, not out of arrogance, but pure instinct. They steer clear of environments lacking authenticity, forced conversations, and shallow interactions that prioritize attention over genuine connection. To them, peace is never a luxury. It's a non-negotiable form of survival. They understand that staying in toxic, misaligned spaces slowly erodes their mental clarity and dulls their inner strength. So while the outside world wonders why they suddenly disappear from certain social circles and scenes, every SpicyLady-Sigma knows exactly what's happening. Even when she can't put the feeling into words, her silence is never avoidance. It's quiet self-preservation wrapped in unshakable wisdom. Let's dive into it, Spicy Lady. Number 1. Spaces with hidden competition disguised as friendship. There's a specific, subtle tension that every SpicyLady-Sigma senses instantly. The kind that hides behind warm smiles and supportive words, masking quiet, underlying competition disguised as friendship. On the surface, it looks like love, encouragement, and genuine camaraderie. But deep down, the energy feels heavy and off. She can feel that every personal win she shares silently becomes an unspoken challenge for the other person. SpicyLady-Sigma never play this exhausting game. They can instantly tell when someone celebrates their success through clenched teeth, when compliments carry hidden comparison, and when innocent curiosity is actually calculated scrutiny. This is not paranoia. This is pure, refined perception. They've mastered reading unspoken energy, and this intuition saves them from toxic circles where jealousy hides behind fake motivation. For example, you share a work promotion and suddenly your friend brags about a bigger raise. You pick up a new hobby to grow yourself, and they coincidentally start the exact same thing, determined to do it better than you. At first, you might brush it off as coincidence, but deep down, you know the clear difference between someone genuinely cheering you on and someone merely trying to keep up with you. SpicyLady-Sigma withdraw from these spaces completely quietly. No arguments, no calling people out, no dramatic exposure. They simply fade away. Their peace is far too precious to waste on people who measure friendship by constant comparison and one-upmanship. For them, true friendship and connection have nothing to do with who's ahead or who's behind. It's rooted in mutual respect, equal growth, and zero envy. They thrive around people who celebrate their wins in private, who support their journey without turning life into a toxic race. The second the energy shifts and friendship turns into a scoreboard, she knows it's time to walk away. Not out of pride, but out of wisdom. A SpicyLady-Sigma seeks peace over winning. She craves people who love her fully, not people who make her compete just to be valued. Number 2. Workplaces where ambition lacks integrity. SpicyLady-Sigma are incredibly ambitious, but their ambition always has soul and moral backbone. They don't work tirelessly just to climb corporate ladders or collect empty titles. They work to create real impact, grow consistently, and build things they're genuinely proud of. That's why the second they land in a workplace where ruthless ambition completely outweighs integrity, their spirit starts to shut down. They can never fake enthusiasm for systems that reward manipulation, cunning, and office politics over genuine character and hard work. In toxic work environments where coworkers step on each other to climb higher, where flattery replaces honesty, and where teamwork turns into a cutthroat battlefield, the SpicyLady-Sigma always withdraws quietly. She notices every small betrayal, Every insincere compliment to superiors, every silent competition between colleagues, and every shady backroom. Deal.to her. Success that forces you to compromise your values is not success at all. She will gladly walk away from a high-paying, prestigious job rather than chase hollow recognition that costs her morals and peace of mind. She refuses to participate in gossip-fueled promotions, toxic office favoritism, and blind praise for authority, even when everyone around her plays along. She stays focused on her work, her ethics, and her inner peace. Eventually, her quiet integrity makes her stand out like a sore thumb in these toxic spaces, and she knows exactly when it's time to leave. SpicyLady-Sigma thrive in workplaces where genuine effort is respected and honesty is never punished. They give their absolute best only when they truly believe in what they're building. They never chase success that costs their sanity, nor do they celebrate wins earned through deceit and manipulation. Their ambition requires clean, honest ground to grow. This is why they often leave seemingly perfect high-status jobs to build smaller, more meaningful ventures. They'd rather grow slowly with full integrity than rise quickly by sacrificing their soul. For them, the real reward is never the paycheck or title. It's being able to look in the mirror every day and know they stayed true to themselves. Number 3. Situations that confuse. Drama for passion. So many people in this world mistake constant chaos for genuine connection. They believe loud arguments equal care and nonstop emotional fights prove passionate love. But for SpicyLady-Sigma, this toxic emotional confusion is an immediate red flag. They see straight through all the noise. They know real passion has depth, not volume. Real connection brings stability, not endless turbulence. When a relationship or situation constantly swings between extreme love and bitter war, between excitement and pure exhaustion, the SpicyLady-Sigma always steps back. She craves healthy peace, not the empty, avoidant kind, but the intentional peace that nurtures growth, safety, and emotional understanding. She cannot thrive in toxic cycles that mask conflict as passion. She refuses to buy into the lie that constant drama equals intense connection, that you'll often find her walking away from partners who start fights just to feel alive, or friends who think emotional chaos equals closeness. While others get addicted to the dramatic highs and lows, she sees the truth clearly. It's not passion, it's instability. She understands that peace never equals boredom, it equals balance. She's never scared of raw, genuine emotion, but she avoids fake emotion disguised as chaos. To her, real passion builds people up, it never breaks them down. It brings consistent warmth, not unpredictable chaos. So she always chooses calm over conflict, clarity over confusion. People constantly misunderstand her silence, assuming she's cold or uninterested. But her silence is pure wisdom. She simply refuses to play soul-hurting emotional games. Lasting passion never comes from screaming matches or tearful reconciliations. It comes from consistency, intentional effort, and mature emotional communication. That's why she values peace above all else. It lets her feel deeply without ever losing herself. For every SpicyLady-Sigma, true passion is calm, steady, authentic, and grounding, never chaotic, draining, or destructive. Number 4. Gatherings that chase trends instead of truth. Trend-chasing energy always makes a SpicyLady-Sigma step back quietly. She can instantly sense when people care more about being seen and looking good than being genuine and real. In social gatherings where everyone competes over the latest fashion, viral trends, social media clout, and superficial hype, she becomes a gracefully detached outsider in the best possible way. She never chases temporary popularity because she knows today's trends fade tomorrow. She values timeless substance, authentic character, and inner truth. Things that hold worth without public attention. SpicyLady-Sigma are always drawn to depth, not performative display. When she's stuck in circles obsessed with brand names, follower counts, and viral buzzwords, an invisible emotional wall instantly goes up. This is never judgment. It's pure energetic misalignment. Her soul cannot connect with spaces where image outweighs intention. She'll sit politely at these gatherings, smile, and nod through the empty conversations about perfect lifestyles and viral moments, but her mind and spirit are far away. She longs for deep talks about purpose, ideas, growth, and truth. Not empty ego-fueled small talk that she's never impressed by fleeting trends because she watches them fade fast. She deeply admires raw authenticity, which can never be manufactured or copied, that she'd rather have one single honest, mind-nourishing conversation than hours of empty dialogue that only feeds people's egos. To her, chasing trends is just a way people run from self-awareness. It's easier to copy others than face your own truth and build your own identity. But SpicyLady-Sigma never run from themselves. They constantly evolve and grow. They stand firm in their unique identity, even when it makes them different from everyone else. When a gathering feels like a performative show instead of genuine connection, she walks away quietly. Not out of superiority, but because she knows her precious energy belongs in spaces that honor truth over clout. Number 5. Relationships that force her to shrink. Every SpicyLady-Sigma eventually reaches a pivotal realization. Not every relationship deserves her full presence, depth, and light. Some connections only survive when she dims herself, when she speaks less, shines less, downplays her dreams, and shrinks her power just to keep other people comfortable. The second she's forced to shrink for someone else's ego, her spirit rebels. She feels the quiet discomfort of being loved only in small, fragmented versions of herself. When a relationship requires her to dim her confidence, mute her independence, or hide her intelligence, she senses the invisible boundary and slowly steps back. SpicyLady-Sigma don't crave constant attention, but they do crave full, unfiltered authenticity. They want relationships that see their depth, celebrate their strength, and never fear their power. She leaves the moment people label her confidence arrogance, her independence distance, and her quiet wisdom weakness. She knows love that demands you shrink is never real love. It's control disguised as care. Others will tell her she's too intense or always needs to be right simply because she unapologetically owns her truth. Over time, she catches herself softening her voice, overthinking her words, and pretending to be less capable to spare others' insecurities. This realization stings, but it sets her free. SpicyLady-Sigma understand that genuine love creates expansion, not shrinkage. The right people and circles are illuminated by her light, never overshadowed or intimidated by it. She always chooses herself over empty approval. She walks away from spaces that can't contain her full power, even if it means walking alone. She'd rather stand fully in her truth than live trapped in someone else's shadow. Number 6. Crowds that drown individuality. A quiet, suffocating discomfort washes over every SpicyLady-Sigma the second she enters a crowd where everyone looks the same, thinks the same, and behaves the same. That it's an environment where unique individuality slowly drowns under the massive pressure to conform and fit in. Most people find comfort in blending in, but for a SpicyLady-Sigma, blind conformity feels like a prison. She values connection deeply, but never at the cost of her authenticity. The second she has to bend her truth, hide her opinions, or dim her personality to belong, she knows she's in the wrong crowd. SpicyLady-Sigma are naturally allergic to conformity. They don't rebel just to stand out. They simply cannot pretend to be someone they're not. In crowds where imitation is the social norm, she sees straight through the fake smiles and senses the deep fear hidden behind everyone's forced sameness. It unsettles her to watch people trade their one-of-a-kind uniqueness for empty acceptance. To her, this type of belonging is just collective insecurity disguised as unity. She notices when groups agree on everything not out of genuine belief, but out of fear of disagreement and judgment. She watches people silence their truth just to stay liked and included. She may observe quietly for a short while, but her spirit is already heading for the exit, as she'd rather be misunderstood for her honesty than praised for her conformity. She believes true belonging thrives on diverse thoughts and unique perspectives, not blind, uniform agreement. When a crowd demands uniformity and crushes individuality, she fades out peacefully. No bitterness, no resentment, just gratitude for knowing herself well enough to never trade her voice for comfort. For her, individuality is never rebellion. It's pure, unfiltered freedom. Number 7. Rooms ruled by gossip. A SpicyLady-Sigma reads the energy of a room long before anyone speaks a single word. The second she steps into a space buzzing with quiet gossip, hidden whispers, judgmental smirks, and half-truths disguised as concern, her spirit instantly tenses up. She knows she's in a space where people use others' personal lives as cheap entertainment, and it's a language she refuses to speak. To her, gossip is never just idle small talk. It's toxic energetic pollution that poisons everyone involved. She lives by one simple rule. The people who gossip with you will always gossip about you. For this reason, she distances herself quietly, out of pure self-respect, not arrogance. Her empathy prevents her from participating in conversations that hurt people who can't defend themselves. That she'll sit silently through groups dissecting others' choices, lifestyles, and mistakes while everyone laughs it off as harmless fun. But she sees the deep harm behind the jokes. She knows words wound just as deeply as actions, and she refuses to contribute to that negativity. SpicyLady-Sigma find gossip incredibly boring. It's rooted in judgment and negativity, not growth and truth. They'd rather discuss ideas, dreams, lessons, and growth than fixate on other people's flaws. The second a room fills with gossip, she feels her peace slipping away. Since protecting her peace is her top priority, she leaves without hesitation. She may exit unnoticed, but her silence speaks louder than all the toxic noise combined. For her, personal dignity is always worth more than fitting in, and integrity beats empty group inclusion every single time. Number 8. Groups where attention is currency. Attention-obsessed environments instantly make every SpicyLady-Sigma feel out of place. You can see it in her calm body language. She grows quiet while everyone else fights desperately for the spotlight. In groups where every story is exaggerated, every moment is performative, and every gesture is designed to grab attention, she immediately disconnects. That it's not that she dislikes people. She deeply dislikes fake pretense and performative energy. SpicyLady-Sigma never chase visibility or clout. They chase genuine meaning and connection. When they speak, it's to connect authentically, not to be heard and praised. When surrounded by people who treat attention like money and social status like currency, she steps back instinctively. She knows these spaces value loudness, performance, and clout over depth, sincerity, and authenticity. She observes people competing for validation, interrupting each other to redirect focus, using strategic compliments, and timing laughter just to stay relevant, and she wants no part of it. She smiles politely, listens quietly, and gradually fades from the center of the noise. Her energy cannot survive in environments where authenticity gets buried under endless self-promotion. She thrives in low-pressure spaces where people exist genuinely, no performance required. She prefers deep one-on-one conversations over loud, ego-driven group dynamics. To her, true confidence never seeks attention. It holds unshakable peace in silence. While others fight to be seen, she simply observes and exists authentically. Ironically, this makes her the most magnetic person in the room without even trying. Her power never comes from external attention. It comes from unapologetic authenticity. In a world addicted to clout, her realness is her greatest rebellion. Number 9. Places that reek of emotional manipulation. There's a distinct, heavy energy that lingers in spaces where emotional manipulation thrives, and a SpicyLady-Sigma smells it instantly. That it's not found in spoken words, but in unspoken implications, the quiet pressure to please, the unspoken demands to comply, the subtle guilt-tripping used to control behavior. Every part of her spirit senses when this toxic energy is present, even if she can't logically explain why at first. Her intuition knows, and she never ignores that gut discomfort. SpicyLady-Sigma are hyper-intuitive. They immediately detect when emotions are used as manipulative tools instead of genuine expressions. Guilt trips, conditional kindness, and affectionate traps never fool her. She sees straight through the sweet words to the controlling energy underneath. To her, emotional manipulation is the most toxic form of control because it hides behind love, care, and affection. It looks like warmth, but it feels like ownership. She recognizes bosses who use flattery to exploit her hard work and partners who weaponize love to demand compliance. The words sound soft, but the energy is suffocating and restrictive. She knows real love never requires sacrificing freedom, and real respect never needs guilt to be earned. What makes SpicyLady-Sigma unique is that they never over-explain their boundaries. No arguments, no justifications, no desperate attempts to prove their point. They simply walk away. They understand that manipulative people will always repeat their toxic patterns, if allowed. So she trusts her discomfort, honors her intuition, and chooses distance over drama. For her, freedom is always worth more than external approval. No sweetly disguised manipulation will ever make her compromise that truth. Number 10. Spaces lacking self-awareness for a spicy Lady Sigma. Being surrounded by people with zero self-awareness feels like being trapped in a room with no mirrors. Everyone moves through life blindly, never reflecting, never growing, never taking accountability. She doesn't look down on these people, but their stagnant energy drains her deeply. She thrives on reflection, honesty, accountability, and consistent growth. And when that's completely missing, she feels utterly misplaced and misunderstood. Spicy Lady Sigma are naturally introspective. They constantly analyze their choices, emotions, and energetic impact on the world around them. So when surrounded by people who live on autopilot, repeating the same mistakes and never questioning their behavior, she feels an immediate, intense disconnect. It's like speaking a deep, thoughtful language no one else understands. She notices groups that never admit fault, always shift blame, and refuse to acknowledge their own flaws. She sees shallow conversations, endless excuses, and zero humility. She doesn't demand perfection from others, but she does require honesty and a willingness to grow. She deeply respects anyone who can admit fault, acknowledge flaws, and commit to self-improvement. That humble self-awareness earns her trust faster than charm or intelligence ever could. When she can't find that humility and growth mindset in a space, she retreats quietly. Spicy Lady Sigma never stay in stagnant environments that refuse to evolve. They know self-awareness is the foundation of all genuine connection. Without it, conversations feel empty, relationships loop in toxic cycles, and growth becomes impossible. So she chooses peaceful solitude over stagnant, unfulfilling company. She'd rather be alone than dim her insightful, growth-oriented spirit to fit in with people who refuse to evolve. For her, growth is never optional. It's essential survival. Final words: the older you grow as a Spicy Lady Sigma, the quieter you become. It's not that you have less to say. It's that you finally understand what's worth your precious energy and what isn't. This truth defines every Spicy Lady Sigma perfectly. Her silence is never emptiness. It's wisdom in motion. She avoids toxic spaces not because she's antisocial, cold, or detached, but because she trusts her intuition more than external social pressure. Her spirit reads energy long before her mind can form logical explanations. When something feels wrong energetically, she never argues with the feeling. She trusts it fully. Her quiet avoidance is never isolation, it's intentional alignment. She actively seeks spaces that nurture her peace, nourish her growth, and honor her truth, not spaces that feed her ego or drain her spirit. Over time, she learns that not every crowd deserves her presence, not every person deserves her kindness, and not every connection deserves her deepest depth. She walks away from anything that forces her to shrink, pretend, play small, or compromise her core values. What makes a Spicy Lady Sigma so powerful is her unmatched awareness. She doesn't need to experience full-blown chaos to recognize toxicity. She feels manipulation in a simple handshake, emptiness in casual conversation, and dishonesty behind the warmest smiles. Her strength lives in quiet discernment. She never exposes or humiliates others, she simply exits gracefully. People often mistake her gentle distance for pride or arrogance, but it's always pure self-respect. She knows inner peace is incredibly expensive, and she refuses to spend it cheaply on unworthy people and spaces. The world may label her mysterious, detached, or hard to understand. But the truth is incredibly simple. She just values genuine meaning over empty noise. In the end, the Spicy Lady Sigma never chases perfect, flawless spaces. She chases real, authentic ones, spaces where truth breathes freely, purpose outweighs empty popularity, and her soul can exist fully without performance or pretense. That is where she belongs. And she always knows it the second she walks in. Thank you for watching, Spicy Lady. God bless you.